And let's start with Auburn and Baylor. This is coming at the number 5 spot.
Yeah.
You're talking about two teams and really two coaches that are swimming in some hot water right now, starting the season unranked. I think both sides have high potential, high ceilings this year, but they also have some low floors.
Yeah, well, we talked about, too, just Auburn having a lot of talent on the offense side of the football. What happens at the quarterback position with Jackson Arnold? How does that look?
Yeah.
Hugh Freeze, 11-14 right now in his career at Auburn.
That's a problem.
That's not too freaking good,
That's
man.
a problem.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then the other side, Falk, their defensive end. Absolute game wrecker. So both teams, I feel like, very similar identities that are trying to kind of get to that next level of their programs and be a little bit more consistent in contending later into the year.
Yeah, with the Auburn Tigers, a lot of the joke was during the season was how much golf Hugh Freeze is playing instead of actually coaching the football
That
team.
handicap looked real good.
Yeah, that
looked
better
really
too.
good.
But there's a lot of pressure at Auburn, man. That is a fan base that is passionate about their team, and they haven't been winning games. So
4 years in a row losing records. Like,
this
you don't
first
say
one
that.
here against Baylor, these are two teams. This is the reason why we're so excited for this game. Two teams that have two coaches who are essentially on the hot seat. I think Baylor ended the season a little bit better than we had felt, but this is a matchup where these two guys are going to be going head-to-head trying to win over their fan base.
Toilet paper has been stocked on the shelves for a while. They haven't gotten to throw it a ton over there on Toomer's Corner. All right, number 4, Alabama at Florida State. This game is incredibly interesting in week 1. At 3:30 Eastern time, ABC next Saturday.
Can't wait for this one.
Both teams breaking in new starting quarterbacks. There's also a little bit of revenge on the line here. Remember, 2 years ago, Alabama got the call instead of an undefeated Florida State team. So they could exact some revenge. Florida State is just looking to kind of recover from a dismal season last year. Is Tommy Castellano the answer? I don't know, but he reunites as well with a former offensive coordinator that actually initially recruited him at UCF.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I do believe in Tommy Castellano. Still get it done. Okay. All right, with some fresh mutts on the side. All right, but I really do think this is going to be the first glimpse that we have of Alabama getting back to being Alabama. And I was talking about this even before we started the show. I really do think Kalen DeBoer and the Ryan Grubb combination is really going to be super powerful for their offense and really for their football team. The defense is absolutely loaded in every single level. So I do believe Alabama is going to be able to show off a little bit here to start the season with their new young quarterback.
All right, on to number 3. Scoop, come to you on this one. Notre Dame and Miami. This is one of the game's oldest rivalries, and a lot on the line here early in week 1 for both these teams.
Yeah, it is going to be tough for Notre Dame the first 2 games of the season because you got to think that they just got C.J. Carr. They had this QB battle going on in camp. It took them dang near till this week to decide on which quarterback is going to be under center. And then it's Carson Beck. Yes, that defense is going to be good, but those weapons, every single weapon that was thrown to last season is essentially gone or in the NFL.
Sure.
So he's working with guys he's never worked before. This is a new offense for him. There's a lot of changes that are happening in that Miami offense. So to see these two offenses go head-to-head, both got good defenses. I think both of these teams have something to prove, especially Miami, because they weren't able to accomplish their goals.
Can you believe Miami hasn't won an ACC conference title since they joined the conference in 2004?
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
It's 20 years. I mean, this is Miami.
I think Carson Beck is, of course, I'm excited for his opportunity, but I also think that he's walking into one of the most difficult situations you can imagine because Cam Ward was just that special a year ago.
Yeah.
Now, C.J. Carr, good thing for him. He's got Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price in the backfield with him.
That helps.
Right? So that absolutely helps, right? A young quarterback feel a little bit more comfortable. So I think I give a slight edge there to Notre Dame to start the season.
Okay, number 2 top game in week 1. The battle of the real Death Valley.
Let's go.
We saw Brian Kelly kind of sunning Clemson a little bit. He was like Death Valley Jr., so we're going to find out who actually is the real Death Valley in this one. But, I mean, there's a lot of pressure. Both these teams, playoff aspirations, national championship aspirations. LSU hasn't won an opener in a little while, really since Brian Kelly has been there. So they go on the road in an incredibly tough environment against a team that you, Maddie, are incredibly high on in Clemson.
Very high on Clemson. And I think, again, because they got dogs at every – well, they got cats. They got tiger cats at every single level. And really it starts with that guy right there, Cade Klubnik. All right, he is the best quarterback in the nation this year going into the year. I expect him to be in that Heisman Trophy race. Absolutely. The offense goes through him. We have question marks about the running back room, but he's got a plethora of athletes surrounding him to create big plays. Riley and him have a great relationship. So I expect Clemson to start out with a big win over LSU.
Yeah, I think Clemson's the best team in the country to start the season just because of how many people they brought back, the most production in the entire country. And Dabo said it on SportsCenter the other day. He was like, man, Google it. You'll see who the real.
Oh, he brought out the
And hey,
Google it.
Google.
Hey,
All you need to do
LSU
is Google, and you'll see that Clemson is currently the real.
LSU just lost Will Campbell to the NFL draft, and Parker and Woods are coming to town, and they are really good pass rushers, and I expect them to cause a lot of havoc for Gary Nussmeier.
Not much needs to be said about number 1, Texas and Ohio State. I will just leave the floor to you guys.
Man, what's there to say, right? I mean, it's just, first of all, that slate, all 5 games right there.
Tremendous.
I love it. I mean, there's just so many great franchises there that are a part of franchises. Look at me, right?
They
might as
kinda
well
like
be.
that.
But still, you know, we
not
might
far
as well,
off.
right? But just, I can't wait for Texas, right, in this situation, right? I'm excited for Arch Manning. Of course, my brother played at Texas, so of course I got a soft spot in my heart for the Texas Longhorns. And then for Ohio State, just how do they live up to what they did a year ago with their young quarterback now and still having the best player on offense and defense still on their roster?
I'm excited to see Jeremiah Smith.
No doubt.
Everyone keeps talking about how big he is. He looks like an NFL wide receiver, not your prototypical NFL wide receiver.
Yeah.
He looks like your Calvin Johnson, Andre Johnson type of NFL receiver. And he's only a sophomore.
I know.
Kid was 18 years last year, 18 years old last year, and now he's become the star of college football. And then obviously Arch Manning on that other side of the ball. I think he's going to use his leg a lot, some QB run. It's really going to be a great matchup that we're all keeping our eyes on. And we're excited for this college football season with week 1 having the best top 5 games.